With shoplifting at a record high in England, some shopkeepers have been forced to take matters into their own hand. Among them is Martin Gaunt, who owns a gift shop in Cornwall and says that he's carried out more than 50 citizens' arrests in the last 2 years. We're going to speak to him in just a moment. But now, anyone can perform a citizen's arrest if they reasonably believe a serious offence has been committed, and are waiting for the police would be impractical at the time. But the National Police Chiefs Council says that people should actually be calling 999 if a crime is taking place. And shoplifting is a grey area, as it may not be deemed a serious enough crime, potentially opening you up to some legal consequences as well as, I suppose, physical ones. And that's before you even get into the safety of confronting a thief. JJ, you have performed a citizen's arrest. Tell us about that. It involved a bike theft?
Yeah, bike thief. Okay. There were 2 guys stealing bikes. I live in East London. Everyone rides bikes in East London because we're trendy. And it's annoying when your bike gets nicked. So I saw 2 guys trying to steal during daylight. It wasn't like down an alley.
So not your bike?
Not my bike, someone else's bike. They were yanking it like this off the rails. I went over, pinned one to the floor. The other one got away. Then called the police.
Oh, here you are, pinning them to the floor.
Down. Yeah. The police came after about 20 minutes, pretty quick for them. They arrested the geezer and turned out he was wanted for lots of crimes in the area and a couple of assaults as well.
OK, so you did a great public service there, JJ, but you had to sit on top of him for 20 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Not going to be possible, Mike, for everyone, is it? I mean, just thinking about what is involved in a citizen's arrest, if I am confronted with a male criminal, I would probably feel less likely to...
Oh, I totally agree. JJ, how tall are you? You don't
6'1".
6'1".
That's helpful.
Right, I'm 5 foot. I'm 5'8", OK, and I'm not as broad as you. If I'd have arrested that guy, he probably would have got the better of me.
Yeah.
Because physically, you know, I'm older than you and I'm smaller than you, and you would have... My great fear in this day and age is that somebody who just looks like a common thief trying to steal a bike might whip a knife out of his pocket, you know?
Yeah.
Or he might be high on drugs and that's why he's committing this crime, and you're going to come off worse. So that's why I continually bang the drum for the presence of more police on our streets, because if there are more police on our streets, people can't rush out of shops, you know, with food they've stolen. They can't steal bikes, and that's what I'd advocate. I'd make some exceptions. I did once when a bloke was abusing a woman on a train, and I stepped in and told him to stop it. And like a lot of people who are loudmouth, he was a bully, and he backed off immediately, which I was very relieved to hear. You know what I mean?
OK, but that wouldn't have been a citizen's address. That's just you doing what you felt was your civic duty at the time.
Exactly, yeah.
OK, let's bring in Martin Gaunt, now owner of the Happy Piranha in Truro in Cornwall. Martin, thank you very much for joining us. I'm surprised you can find time out of your day with all these citizens' arrests you've been doing, 50 in 2 years. What's brought you to this point where you feel like that is the only solution for you?
Well, a bit earlier in your show, you said that the Police Chiefs Council said if you witness a crime, you should call 999. If you witness a shoplifting and you call 999, you're not going to get any response whatsoever. They'll tell you to call 101 and you'll be on the phone to 101 for God knows how long, by which time the criminal has gone. So it would be unrealistic for us to expect the police to investigate in my opinion anyway, a shoplifting incident once the individual's left the store. There'd just be too much work involved. But if you stop that individual and keep them there until the police arrive, then maybe they could do something about it.
Are you not worried about your personal safety, though? Because from what I have read about you this morning, you sort of trap them in your shop. You just don't let them leave.
Well, generally speaking, it's just outside the shop because the shop can be a bit crowded and it's a difficult environment because there'll be other retailers in there. So generally speaking, we'll stop them just as they've left the store. But, you know, we're very considered about what we do. We're not going to, you know, rush in there and try and cause a problem. We're trying to solve a problem. So we'll explain to them what we think we've seen and we'll ask them to cooperate with us. And if they do, then maybe we don't need to call the police. If they won't cooperate, then we'll advise them that we're going to detain them until the police can arrive and maybe search their bags and gain their details.
Are you not worried about legal ramifications if you're not worried about the physical ones? As I said in the intro to this, shoplifting is a bit of a grey area because some shoplifting wouldn't be deemed serious enough to elicit a citizen's arrest.
I don't believe that's the case. I think there's a lot of wrong speak going on here. I got a letter from the Home Office, and we spoke earlier about an offence needing to be indictable. Well, under Section 1766 of the Antisocial Behaviour Crime and Policing Act 2014, that allows for any reference in PACE to an indictable offence to also include low-value shoplifting. So I think there's a lack of education, there's a lack of awareness, and what we suffer from is a society that's always trying to find reasons why you shouldn't do things. And in terms of putting myself at risk, I'm putting the wider society at greater risk if we don't stand up and do something about this. Because it's not just shoplifting. It's not a matter of me losing a £20 teddy. It's the total breakdown in law and order, the social fabric, and the safety of the high street. A lot of the time, it isn't just shoplifting. It's organised crime. And I went through a phase where we made 7 stops, and 5 of those 7 stops were people carrying some form of weapon once they were searched. Whether it's a knife, a hammer, various other bits and pieces. So, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But things will only get worse if we don't start to do something constructive about it. But that needs to be considered.
But wouldn't you just want to call for more police? I mean, surely this is not something that you want to be doing.
Well, I would, yeah. But to be honest, we're not using what we've got. The police we've got at the moment are not doing what they could do. People say to me, why is the rise in shop theft so high? And it's nothing to do with financial crisis or the economy. It's to do with the fact that it's no longer believed that it's illegal to steal from shops, in inverted commas. So, for example, if you look at speeding, if we took away speeding cameras and speeding fines, a lot more people would be driving faster than they should do. There'd be more accidents. There would be more deaths resulting in that. Shoplifting for far too long has been considered a low-value crime. Well, it's not, because people have cottoned onto that, and it's now a huge value crime. And it feeds into much more important things than just me losing a £20 teddy.
Martin Gaunt, thank you very much for your time, and I hope with all the publicity that article actually made, less people will be trying to steal from your shop in the future. We can only hope you have to make fewer citizens' arrests. Thank you. Liam from London, you're on the phone now. What's your thoughts when it comes to citizens' arrests? Is it something you would attempt?
So, hi Storm and panel. So basically I've done a citizen's arrest in a shop. I was in a shop once, and there was an individual I walked past putting stuff in his bags. I then went to the till, got on with my day, whatever. And as he was leaving the store, the staff were trying to stop him from leaving. He got quite physical. I'm restraint trained, martial arts trained. I'm quite a big lad. And it ended up with me restraining him on the floor until the police arrived.
OK, well, it sounds like you're trained, Liam. I wonder whether you think this would be a good idea. I noticed in your story that the shop assistants, although trying to stop him from leaving, didn't try and enact a citizen's arrest, potentially because physically they couldn't?
I think they, obviously, like you say, I'm trained, right? So I firstly would like to stress, I don't advise people doing citizen's arrests. I don't advise people intervening in situations unless you are physically able and you have the training. This certain situation, these staff were getting punches in the face. They were getting quite beaten up, and they wouldn't let go of him. And if I didn't intervene, I think there would have been a significant incident.
Well, there was quite a lot going on there, so I suppose there wasn't any concern for you in terms of the legal ramifications of what you were about to do, because you had just seen them assault someone, presumably, as well as this victim of stealing.
So I knew for a fact that what I was going to do was legal, because firstly he was attacking somebody that couldn't defend themselves. So by law, I can step in and intervene physically. I put him on the floor safely, making sure that keeping constant communication with him in regards to, can he breathe? Can he, is there any medical conditions or anything I need to be aware of to safeguard him? Making sure that nobody else intervened, making sure that everybody's aware that I'm trained adequately and that I'm essentially in charge of him right now in a safety perspective, and I've got to keep him safe as well as everybody else. Sounded
like you were very in control there, Liam. I'm sure everyone felt very calm. You're quite happy for someone like Liam to do a citizen's arrest, Mike? Or do you still think even for Liam that was a dangerous thing to do?
Well, no, because Liam clearly knew what he was doing, and he went to the rescue of people who were trying a citizen's arrest, which wasn't working, or he went to the rescue of the shop staff. Now, from, you know, the brief time we've heard Liam explain the incident, I don't have the skills that he had in containing the situation, and also Liam sounds to me like the sort of guy who could sense whether he was going to be at danger in doing this, you know. So we need more guys like Liam, and we need them in policemen's uniforms.
Liam, thank you very much. Thanks for your call and sharing that with us. Later.